Hello everybody, today's review is going to be Creed's Neroli Sauvage, and once again I have got some opinions included in the video from my friends in the fragrance community. It's pretty much a unisex fragrance, so I was hoping to get some women's opinions, but unfortunately none of them came forward. That may be because men are the ones most interested in this scent, or it may have something to do with what I did at the recent UK fragrance community social event. For which I am really sorry. Hello everyone, so today we're going to be reviewing Neroli Sauvage by the House of Creed. This is a citrus aromatic scent and it's described on the Creed website as being fresh, zesty, yet remarkably enduring. So we're expecting from this one some kind of fresh citrus scent, and it's widely regarded as being in a similar kind of category to things like Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford, maybe even 4711, the old German cologne, and other fresh citrus type colognes, maybe the Acqua di Parma Colonia or other flankers from that series, would be things we would talk about in the same breath as this one. How does it compare? Considering Creed's high prices and reputation, it needs to be good to measure up to those other excellent scents that are out there in the fresh citrus kind of category, with the Neroli theme in particular. Neroli, by the way, an ingredient we hear a lot about in perfume, is an oil distilled from oranges. It was made famous in the 18th century by Anne Marie Orsini, who was the Princess of Nerola in Italy, hence the name, and she used to use this oil, Neroli, to fragrance her gloves and her bath. So there we go, that's how it became popular, and it's been used ever since in fragrances which have a fresh smell. Notes on this one, top notes are grapefruit and bergamot. In the mid we have Neroli and petitgrain, and in the base we have ambergris, and also, if you look on the Creed website but not listed on Fragrantica, sandalwood, and I get a lot of sandalwood in the dry down, so I think we'll include that one. Those are the notes. Let's see how it smells. I've got the dry down actually from last night. I've slept in bed, it's still there on that one. Let's put my hand here. Okay, so as you would expect, an invigorating fresh citrus opening, but what kind of citrus exactly? How does it smell? It's quite soft, and I would say lemon and grapefruit are the two things that I get most of in the opening on this one. Lemon and grapefruit, and it's very nicely done. It's a really kind of fizzy, lemony, almost lemon sherbet type smell, but not harsh. It's more, as I say, lemon sherbet. It's a kind of sweet, lemony grapefruit citrus. Very nice fragrance. You almost want to drink it. Don't do that. But it has that kind of lovely citrus opening. Nothing sharp or harsh or really bitter about it. The fragrance is called Neroli Sauvage. As with many Creeds, that's a slight misnomer, I think. Neroli doesn't seem to be the dominant note. If you think about things like Neroli Portofino or 4711, there's a quite distinctive note of Neroli that has a sort of almost a quite bitter, it's hard to describe, but once you've smelt it, you'll know it. It's in there if you dig in, I think, but it's not the thing that jumps out. So Neroli on this one, just one of the notes in this citrus aquatic or aromatic type scent, but it's not the dominant one, and that's perhaps why some people are not too thrilled with it. It's quite common with Creed that they'll list a note in the name of their fragrance that isn't really the dominant one. One thinks of Royal Oud. Oud's in there, but it's not the dominant note. Original Santal or sandalwood, I think that's referring to. It's in there, but it's not really the dominant thing. We could go on. Original Vetiver by Creed has vetiver in there, but it's just kind of soapy feel. It's not what you'd associate with the vetiver smell that we're used to from things like Terre d'Hermès. So very common with Creed that they do that, and maybe that perhaps annoys some people who've bought the fragrance expecting it to be a Neroli bomb or whatever. However, for me, the smell is extremely well done. The opening is a lovely sharp citrus zesty kind of thing, and the dry down, and as it develops we get that wood, that sandalwood, and I think very significantly the ambergris, that Creed note of ambergris. And some people might find that a little bit annoying because not everyone's into ambergris, and if they buy this kind of cologne type scent, maybe they think it's a great alternative to Neroli Portofino, they might not want ambergris in there. But to me, you get that slightly salty aquatic note of the ambergris. One of my fragrant friends actually sniffed me and gave an opinion back on this one, and she said that it almost reminded her of Creed Aventus. If I'd said that this was the dry down of Creed Aventus, she would believe me. So that I don't quite go as far as to agree with that completely, but I can see where she's coming from. There is that signature Creed DNA with the ambergris that they put in so many of their scents is in this one. So overall, what you've got here with this scent is an extremely well done, slightly different citrus type scent. It's very pleasant, it's slightly sweet and fizzy, and you've got that really nice creamy sandalwood that you get in some other Creed fragrances. A lot of them have sandalwood. It's got that woody and ambergris dry down that we get in so many of their fragrances, but it's done in a slightly different way, very much light, fresh, and really just being in that old eau de cologne style category. And it's Creed's answer to that. So we don't necessarily ask for every scent that a house, even a niche house, produces to be terribly exciting. Creed have many other fragrances with all kinds of different things going on, and this is their traditional eau de cologne style fragrance. And of course, as a house that does fresh scents really well, they've done a really good job. Let's get on to another really important matter then, performance on this one. In my experience so far, performance for this one has been average for a citrus scent. I don't think projection is huge. It's there a bit for the first hour or two and then it dies down, but longevity I think is quite decent for the type of scent that it is. I get a good 5 to 6 hours of it being notably there. I actually sprayed it on before going to bed last night, and I can still sniff this part of my arm where I put it, and it's definitely still there. I'm not imagining it, it's definitely still there. You've got that nice kind of sandalwood ambergris note as a skin scent. So longevity decent, it's not a great performer. And projection, again, yeah, we'll call it average. So we're calling it average performance. If we think of categories of poor, average, strong, or beast mode, or we could call it light, medium, strong, and beast mode. This is medium or average. So it's okay, but for the money, you might find that a little bit disappointing. Creed scents are expensive. This is no exception. And there are plenty of other options out there. So let's see what some of my friends in the fragrance community online said. I asked some friends for their opinions, and here's what they thought about this one. Okay, so Will Sterling in a Facebook group said it's a solid old style eau de cologne Neroli, although quite pricey, and he recommends some other good ones: Hermes Neroli d'Or, Armani Orange Alhambra, Frederic Miles Cologne Indelible, and the vintage Tom Ford Neroli Portofino before it was reformulated. Peter Kenny on the same group said he didn't get on with the Neroli Sauvage at all. The ambergris was way too overpowering to me, he said, and it did last quite a while, but he didn't like it. Peter Kenny also agreed with Neroli Portofino and Cologne Indelible as good recommendations. And some other comments. Murray Turner says it's a really nice, smooth Neroli scent, but a bit too boring and short-lived for the price. If it lasted better, it would be great for summer. So he didn't like the performance, liked the scent. Paul Stansby reminds us that it is a freshie, so most don't last long. And then Jalal Sultani also says Tom Ford Neroli Portofino and Frederic Miles Cologne Indelible would be his favourite ones in this genre. And Axel LS describes Neroli Sauvage as a classic Neroli with a touch of a modern twist, fine, sophisticated, and not as sharp as other Neroli-based frags on the market. So we can see there's a lot of good things to be said about this one, but people say that perhaps it's not too thrilling or exciting, and there are other options that many people in the fragrance community prefer. Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford, I've got a fairly sizable decant of this one that I've been using, is in the same category. This one does what it says on the tin to a much greater extent, Neroli Portofino. It smells of Neroli and a kind of soapy, clean freshness that's really, really exquisitely well done. You might find that better if you're looking for an out-and-out Neroli scent. People also mentioned Cologne Indelible by Frederic Miles, which I do have a 10ml decant of, not with me. I haven't got along with that one too well. I found it just a little bit too sharp and bitter, and maybe a little bit grandma-ish as well in the smell, but that was just my taste. So you might like that one better than this too. There are all kinds of other options. People mentioned Maison Francis Kirkjohn Apom. That's another good citrus freshie. Anything by Atelier Cologne can be got for reasonable prices online, much cheaper than this. Things like Bergamot Soleil. I really like Pomelo Paradis, which has that grapefruit note in it, as does this one. So those are options, and you'll be spending a lot less money. But this one has its own character that they don't have. This has the Creed DNA and the ambergris. Definitely there are loads of others in this category to check out. Many fresh scents available out there for lower prices that you may prefer to this one. Also worth mentioning is Ferrari's Bright Neroli, which is now becoming more available over here in the UK. I think it's quite hard to get in the States though, and we know Chad from Gentleman's Journey has been a big advocate of that one. I haven't tried it, but apparently it smells really similar to Neroli Portofino at a fraction of the cost. All of those are good options. So this one, for me personally, I love the smell. There's something magical about Creed scents that I really like, and this one has got that. It's got that magic for me. I would go for a mark of 9 out of 10 for me personally, how much I like it, just because I love ambergris, I love sandalwood, and I find this a really interesting scent. However, and this is a big but, if you are thinking about buying this, and certainly if you're thinking about blind buying this, I'm not recommending that you rush out and do that. It's more like a 6.5 in terms of recommendability for other people, because I can see a lot of people are let down by this one, find it a bit just so-so, and don't quite smell the magic in it that I perceive. So if you're thinking of buying a fresh Neroli scent, I would say there are others you definitely need to check out, and it would be not terribly likely that this would come out as your favourite, particularly when you think of the price that Creed fragrances cost. So in terms of me recommending this to you, I'm going to say something like a 6.5. I'm going to say it's unlikely that you're going to go out and buy this and feel like, oh wow, amazing, what a great thing that I've bought this, I've really done the right thing. You're more likely to be slightly let down by this than anything else. I just happen to find it ticks my boxes, pushes my buttons, because I like ambergris. I think there's something good about the way Creed do every scent, and I really like it. So for me, it's a personal favourite. Please don't rush out and blind buy it. Try it before you spend money on this scent, and it wouldn't be probably anyone's first Creed or first niche scent that you buy, but it is a really well done, fresh eau de cologne style scent. It's nothing exciting, it's nothing to write home about or go wow wow wow, but it might just be a real favourite for you as it is for me. Thanks very much for watching, and remember, whatever we do in life, let's project. I'll see you soon. Videos upcoming then. We're going to have a Silver Mountain Water comparison with 2 clones, both of which do a great job of cloning it, but let's see how the performance is on those. And then after that, I'm going to do my Beast Mode video, and thanks for everyone who voted for those. And then we're going to really get stuck into some of the autumn, fall, stronger scents for cold weather. Looking forward to reviewing some of those, and we'll see you soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.